All right, we're going to take a look at how we create our working drawings and add dimensions to it. So first, we're going to come down here and click the plus sign, and we're going to create drawing. For me, this pops up because I like the template ANSI A-inch. If you have to look for it, it'd probably be under ANSI. So we're going to click OK. Now, it wants to know what part. So I'm going to throw this part in there. And it's going to go here. And I can bring it over here. And I can bring it up here. And then I click bring it over. And this will give me my isometric. So this is my entire part. If for whatever reason you're not able to grab it, this command right here, projected view, is what allows you to grab and put the stuff where you want it. So if I click and delete this, for instance, projected view, click and drag it up. Now, some of you might look at this and say, well, Mr. Quinn, that isn't really putting the longest side flat like you say that we should. I can see how it looks in the most natural position, but what would I do if I need mine to go flat and I drew it tall? So let me show you. So I'm going to double click on this, which allows me to edit it. And over here, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And just because I like things the way I like it, I'm going to keep rotating it so that it goes like that. So I click that little arrow so it rotated at the other 90 degrees. I like having the circle that way. So I'm going to check mark it, and then I'm going to check my projected view and bring it up and over and up here. So that is placing views. You will notice that there are a lot of things in here. Maybe I decide, hey, you know what? I don't like it being 1 to 2. I want it to be bigger. I could come in and change that scale to 1 to 1. Now, obviously, you see that makes this a lot harder to fit everything on here. And that the scale of our sheet is 1 to 2, so it's popping that up every time. I really don't like how that looks. It's just a little bit too big, so I'm going to go back down to 1 to 2, and it changes everything. Maybe you drew it with the wrong front view when you drew it. You can come up here and say, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to need my top view to be my front view, and give it a minute, and it'll go through and make all those modifications. So you can see that this is a really nice software for helping make changes to things as you go. This is the best front view. I like how it's laid out. Again, notice that I tried to put the pictures in the 4 quadrants, and now I'm ready to dimension. And I'm going to come click my dimensioning tool. We want to remember our dimensioning guidelines from when we were dimensioning things on paper, because they're coming back into play. So first, I want to do my overall dimension. I want to do my overall height, but look at this. This is where it gets tricky. If I click here, I get an overall height of 2.18, but that's not right because those little fillets are on the edge. So instead, what I need to do, I'm going to click dimension. I'm going to click this line, and I'm going to click down to that line, and my overall height of 2.38. Now I need an overall width. And just because I like to have dimensions on different drawings, I'm going to bring it over here, put my overall width there. Now I need to dimension this feature inside of here. What does this look like? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by dimensioning the edge and say that from the edge it's 0.590. The length from here to the center, oops, that didn't click what I wanted it to. Try that again. The dimension from the center to this edge is 1.76. I'm going to put it right there. And then I need to dimension the top and bottom from this edge to that edge, 0.59. And from this edge to that edge is 0.59. And notice this time I'm going to line it up. I want to make sure that I'm lined up with my other dimensions. And so those are all in a nice, neat, clean line. Last thing, I need to dimension this circle. There's my leader. It's coming out. It recognizes that it is a arc, therefore it's going to get a radius, and it says 6.0. I also need to dimension this right here. Now, if you look over here, this is getting pretty crowded. If I bring it down there, it doesn't look the way. So this is an example where I'm going to take my dimension out of bounds, and I'm going to dimension it right here. And I have two radiuses that are 0.25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on that. And over here, I'm going to hit 2x to represent that I want it to be done 2 times. I put a little space in there so that it looks good. And I want to come in here. I want to dimension this radius as well. That radius is 0.1. And I want that to be 4 times. And so I put a space, 4x. And so there we are. I think I've got all the dimensions that I need. I know where everything is located. I know how far it is from there to there. It looks good to me. Now what I need to do is I need to zoom in on this title block. And there are a couple things that are good here. First off, we see that it automatically puts the name of whoever the creator of this file was. That's good. Tells the date that the file was created. And here we have some information that we want to put in. So this is where we put our titles and things like that. So I'm going to double click on the first one. And here I'm going to call this, we're going to use all caps. Ooh. Arch window. All caps is a standard in engineering because we don't ever want to be in a situation where we're wondering, is it an I or an L? Is it an uppercase I or a lowercase L? So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to give it its part number. Arch-001. And I have that. And that's all the information I need. And so I'm just going to leave those two alone. Oh, sorry, my bad. The drawing numbers here. That's where I want to put that. Arch-001. And I want to keep this as it was. And now I have all of the information. Everything looks good. And there we go.